Okay guys, here again today with another how-to video. Basically, we're dealing with a direct injection engine. Carbon cleaning the valves, that's what we're talking about today. Today I'm talking about CRC's GDI intake valve cleaner. This is also safe on turbo engines and superchargers. Now, carbon is becoming more of an issue in cars. If you haven't heard it on the internet, is essentially direct injection engines, they don't have fuel passing by the valves. So when you get that return PCV, oil deposits and stuff, it creates carbon and it builds up on the valves to the point where it can cause rough idle, hard starts, loss of power, you know, all sorts of conditions. So the only way to get rid of it when it gets really bad is remove the intake and actually clean the intake valves. You've seen walnut blasters on the internet, and some people go to scraping and other chemicals. I've even done in the past. Now what I've seen is, I bought this with my own money. This is not a sponsored product. This wasn't given to me for any reason. I am doing this video because I actually use this, and this is my wife's personal Traverse. I wouldn't just do it for the heck of it. I've done many intake valve cleanings. They are an issue in direct injection engines. I've seen issues at 10,000 miles on new cars. Depending on the driving conditions and area, especially in your colder climates, it just seems to happen worse. So, this is the intake valve cleaner. This essentially is just a small additive, because fuel additives and stuff don't work on newer engines. So that's because there's no fuel going by these valves. So we need to get those deposits out the valves. So very easy instructions. Very easily, you just need to get this past the mass airflow sensor if you have one. You don't want to be spraying at the MAF sensor. It can cause some residue and some invalid readings. Could set a check engine code. I haven't had any issues with it, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm actually going to remove the intake piping after the mass airflow sensor, which is attached to my air filter cover. We're going to start the engine, get to normal operating temperature. You don't want to do it in a cold engine. So once we start the engine, we're going to slide in the flip straw, engage it, have a helper handy if you need to. Sometimes you might need to just give it a little bit of accelerated idle. You don't rev it to the moon. You don't want the engine to stall out. Quick sprays will get the engine used to the extra fuel. Essentially, you are spraying fuel into the engine, and it might run rough, it might smoke, it might do stuff. It's gonna do that. So essentially, you're just gonna spray this, keep it from stalling, empty the can. You're doing accelerated idle. You can use a scan tool to increase your idle, and you spray the can, and you just keep spraying in 30-second increments. Let go, 30 seconds, let go. Then you're gonna let it sit for an hour, 1 hour. After that, we're gonna drive it. It's gonna smoke like a banshee. It's okay for the environment. Don't worry, it's just the cleaner steaming off. You know, it's gonna improve emissions in the long run. So this is what you need to do. Okay. So with the engine idle at 2,000 RPM and an operating temp, we're gonna start spraying the cleaner. I loosened up this clamp, so we're gonna sneak it in. And the more carbon buildup you have, the more this becomes an issue of keeping it running. Can's empty. We're going to reconnect our clamp here. To idle. Now we'll turn the car to idle, and before we shut it off, we're just going to have a couple quick blips. Not exceeding 3,500 RPM. And then turn the car off. Now you can see we did have some emissions come out of the exhaust pipe, some water, carbon, other stuff. So now what we're going to do, so now what we're going to do is wait 1 hour and start this thing up, and you're going to see how much it smokes. It's going to look bad, but we're going to drive, and it's going to drive great afterwards. So see you in 1 hour through editing magic. Alright, so it's been an hour. We're going to start the car up. It may struggle to start elongated crank just now. Totally normal. We're going to go in right now. As you heard that start. And this is what you're going to see. It's totally normal. So you go drive it, clear up all that carbon, drive for 10 minutes at high RPM on the freeway. Let's get it moving and clean it up and get it all cleaned out. After about 10 minutes, we have no check engine light. We are driving just fine. RPMs are good. Actually, throttle response, everything is improved. So as you guys can see, the CRC intake valve cleaner did its job in this direct injection engine. It's running, no check engine lights, improved performance, no smoking out of the tailpipe, no elongated starts whatsoever. It's good to go. So I highly recommend doing this as a service, every oil change to your direct injection engine, especially if you have a, one that's been babied, not going at high RPM or anything at all. So hope you guys liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that bell notification to get a notification on when I post new videos. Thanks for watching.